look at the airport development process, you're looking into the future. So you're developing for minimum 50 years, 30 to 50 years. So there's basically a huge opportunity to already think about the net zero ambitions of an airport and also the climate resilience. I see always this net zero and climate change adaptation is two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
One, you're trying to minimize your impact on the environment. The other one is that climate is changing. You can only reduce the rate of climate change, but still the climate is changing. So meaning that you need to brace yourself to the climate impacts like flooding, storms, typhoons and stuff. So you already need to think about what is the worst going to come, right? So when you're at the design stage of an airport, that's where you can start putting the seed. So what you have to do to minimize your impact and what you have to do to brace yourself.
Yeah.
So airport development process, especially master plan, is key strategic document where you need to put this as the key objectives in your starting place. To look into what are the things you can do at an infrastructure stage. So you don't need to retrofit it later on. Because moving a runway is going to be extremely difficult when you start operating the airport. So you already need to think about which direction I need to put the runway in.
Yeah.
Because the wind is going to change, then you need to have an additional runway already reserved space for it. So that's why I say that airport planning is quite an important one. Especially to give another anecdote is that when you look into the future fuels, everybody's talking about SAF, but in the future you also talk about liquid hydrogen. So meaning that needs heavy infrastructure, needs to be laid out. A lot of pipes, you need separate pipes, you can use the existing fuel pipes. So you all need to think about that and already reserve space for it. You give a provision for it. So you don't need to reopen everything and redo it. So that's why the planning is quite important at this stage. There's always a sense of accountability when you are putting something additional infrastructure. People ask me, what is sustainable airport? Don't build it, right? So no airport is the most sustainable airport in place. But once the moment you start putting an airport infrastructure, you can only try to, like I explained earlier, right? Try to minimize the impact as much as possible, making it more self-reliant. So how much percentage of your operations can be self-reliant? That should be your parameter when it comes to sustainable growth, right? So if you have high ambitions, 4 times the growth, it's fine. Can you self-sustain it? Then you can aim for the 4 times growth. So that should be the ladder, not asking blindly that, okay, no, don't build the airport because no growth. So try to be more mindful, try to do as much as you can. So that's what I see.
Yeah.
And then the connectivity brings a lot of upsides to it, right? So it's basically, especially the regional connectivity in a country like India, it's crucial. So I give an example. So a small airport in Africa. So it's really a remote village. So but they built the single strip runway airport, been built there. Because of the airport, the village got the power. So the power came because of the airport.
Yeah.
So the airport substation became the electricity board for the village. So that could happen. So that's also I see it from that angle. So you pull the interest, the attention. If infrastructure like airport comes into play, all your other utilities like water, electricity, plus airport needs uninterrupted supply.
Yeah.
So then the ecosystem will bring it to you, and then the community around you can get benefited. So it is also multi-layer answer to it, right? So the climate risk is only seen as infrastructure impact, because it's becoming more reactive.
Yeah.
So people started reacting to an impact, but they don't realize that one key thing they have to do is we start with the first question, right? You already need to anticipate what's going to happen and try to integrate into your design, which you don't really see. So then that's very crucial. Right now we are more reactive of addressing the climate risk, especially related to the operational disruptions like flooding, storms and high winds and stuff. But I think the key thing that we have to do from the climate risk point of view, that you need to start from financing, right? So when the investor steps in, now it's being asked in developed countries, the financier is asking for, what have you done for your climate risk? What is your adaptation plan for it? Already from when you start raising the capital.
Okay.
So that is going to move towards the space. So you will be asked by your financiers, you will be asked by the insurance companies, you will be asked by your investors on this question at the right beginning when you start thinking about developing an airport. So that's going to be the initial part in your negotiations, that what are you going to do for that climate risk part? It comes really at the front end, not at the tail end of the reaction.